Good evening, everyone. Welcome again, and let me get this right this time. It's the Wholesome Smite Community Tournament. We're back for round 2, and this time we've got GrogChamp versus Charlie's Angels. And joining me again is my wonderful sister, Beth Lol.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. I am, again, as usual, ridiculously excited because the last match that we saw just how skilled Charlie's Angels are. So it's going to be really interesting to see them play against Team GrogChamp, who have a history of excellent performance as well. So I'm excited. I really couldn't place a bet on who I think is going to win. I think we might get to the 1-1 stage maybe and then go over again, because I think it's just going to be so intense. It's all going to be about split-second decisions, this game. What do you think, Joel? What do you think is going to happen this evening?
I have no idea. It's great. I love going into a game like this, having absolutely zero clue what's going to happen. Because, I mean, we had GrogChamp face against, was it F7, few weeks ago now, and that was 2-0. Really, like, surprisingly, actually, like, I thought GrogChamp played so much better in that game, those two games, and really showed their stuff, especially Wizzy. And then Charlie's Angels played Baroonies, and that was also 2-0. In fact, let's get the table up for all of this. I think I've got a... There we go. There's a really, super high quality production for showing you how things have gone. And you can see it's fully up to date. Basically, GrogChamp 1 win, Charlie's Angels 1 win. Actually, that should probably be 2-0 each, but it's fine. Matches
we'll go
anyway.
over that once everybody's,
and
honestly, once we get to next weekend, we'll have an updated league table.
Yeah, honestly, both teams played super well, like such that I cannot separate them. I actually think this could be a 2-1. This could be quite a late one.
I think it's going to be late too. I've got my partner who I'm going to be asking for more wine as we go on throughout the evening, because I think it's just going to get so intense as we go on. So I don't know. I think we're going to get into quite a slow start at the beginning, because I think they are both aware that this other team is a very strong team and it is all about split-second decisions. So maybe we'll have a little bit of a slow start and then the kills will just start happening. But it'll be interesting to see. We're just waiting to hear from the team captains as to whether they're ready, and we'll get into it there. But Joel, do you have any God information for us about the teams?
I can have a little look. I think, let me find the right Chrome tab.
No problem. And we're also wondering if Wizzy is going to sub in for Cathal or if Cathal is playing this evening. So we're just waiting to see if we've got a sub or if the OG Cathal is playing. Let's have a little look and see.
Well, let's have a first look at Charlie's Angels, because that's the tab I happened to pick up first. And it's not very much, there's not very much of an update to them. Although we do at least have some very tangible information from the last week's game, and that was that Big Dutty Stanks King Arthur is sick. Big Dutty Stunks Tsukiyomi likes to go in by himself, but we already knew that.
We knew that.
Yeah. Carrick's is learning to play mid really quickly. He says it's his weakest role, but I think he did really well in the last match. MVD the Night Fury proving to be a really good support with so many different characters, Ganesha in particular in the last match. So we could probably add that to the list for sure. Big Dutty Stank seemed to like to go Medusa. I think Medusa was the pick both games, and actually had the pleasure of playing with him midweek as well before. And yeah, really good player. Very excited to see how he'll do against a bit of what I expect to be a bit of a stronger team.
Absolutely, and I think that it's going to be even more interesting because we've seen them play last week. It'd be interesting to see whether the other team decides to ban against them based on their performances last time, or if they're just going to ban gods that they don't really feel like playing. I think actually we're ready now to spectate, get into the game before we go through the gods for the other team. And it's just as well actually because we actually do have Cathal. Cathal is here. Wizzy, the renowned sub, will not be playing tonight, but we're going to see some sick play from Cathal, who has been sorely missed throughout this tournament, because I remember when we were watching him before, he was just so good. I remember the Janus was just unreal. So I'm hoping that we see that again.
Definitely.
Who knows?
Yeah. So this preparation.
Nice to get more of Cathal in this tournament, definitely.
Yeah. So this prepared slide is incorrect. Wizzy is not the mid for this team. It's going to be Cathal.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to slay.
He's really good.
Apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Joel, if you could just set up the spectate before they go into their picks and bans, that'd be great. And then we'll dive right into it.
I have a queue to spectate, so as soon as my client goes straight into the game, I'll switch over. But
awesome.
Yeah, so what else do we expect to see from GrogChamp? Do you think they'll stick with the tanky solo like they did in the first game, the latest game, as opposed to the friendlies that they played?
I mean, honestly, anything goes. For Team GrogChamp, we've seen an Ulla mid, so they're not afraid to shake up the traditional meta. But at the same time, it might be best to stick with meta because it is most efficient. We're likely to want to see them want to play maybe a mid, mage in mid. Joel, if you could just share the screen with me, that would be grand. Thank you. You're on it already. That's because you're very clever. So I would think that they're going to want to use very strong games. I would not be surprised if we see an Athena ban, to be honest with you, because Athena is ridiculously strong right now. So is Set. There's the Pele ban against the Big Dutty Revolution, and the King Arthur ban as well, because they know that they did incredibly well in their last game. So I think that they are banning based on their performances that we've seen so far in the league. They have definitely done their research. Jaros, I'm assuming, is Cathal on an alternative account.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm assuming, because I did ask if Cathal was playing or Wizzy, and she said Cathal. She didn't say somebody else.
That's cool.
So,
okay, thank you for the confirmation, Gazoo Keys.
Yes, Danzaburo ban, very interesting, an incredibly strong hunter right now, and a Scylla ban against the Big Dutty Revolution. Well, so I keep calling them by their pen name that I've given them, but it's actually Janus.
And the Janus ban for Jaros or Cathal. Let's just keep
Cathal. For Cathal or Jaros, yeah. Janus, an incredibly powerful ult, especially mid-game, I think. So that's... I think these are good bans so far. It's not like they've banned, like, Fafnir or something. They've managed to lock in Athena, and they could go Athena jungle, particularly strong off meta choice right now. I think that's going to work really well, having a slightly tankier jungle, one with a taunt, one with a global ultimate to secure those kills. And there's a Tsukuyomi lock-in from here in World, which would be interesting because Big Dirty Stunk, Charlie, is a massive fan of Tsukuyomi, so perhaps playing against the Tsukuyomi will actually be easier for him because he knows how he works really well, and playing as Athena, that might be an interesting pick, but it just depends. Can the Tsukuyomi Master face the Tsukuyomi Master off, and who would win not playing Tsukuyomi? So many Tsukuyomis going on. There's MVG the Night Fury's Ganesha. Can we just reflect on how amazing Amy was with Ganesha in the last game? Like, it was such a sick support. She did so much crowd control. She was always in the right place. I think that's a really great pick. What do you think of the team collab so far, Joel?
I quite like the Athena pick because I think in general it's really valuable to have a flex pick. So Athena could both play support and jungle really effectively. So now that Tsukuyomi's been picked up, maybe they'll keep Athena with jungle, and now that they can respect with that. So that's probably why they could pick Ganesha, is that they had Athena to go either support or jungle. Seeing Tsukuyomi get picked later on means that Athena's now locked in as the jungler, and they can pick their support.
Sure. Interesting to see an Izanami ban. I'm not sure why there's an Izanami ban. I don't particularly think that she's an incredibly strong hunter. She's annoying, for sure. I like the Apollo and the Nuwa ban. I think that they are very strong bans right now. And there's the Aphrodite ban, because Aphrodite is so frustrating in this meta at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see. I think a good pick for Carrick's would be maybe Discordia or Ra, if he's about to pick them. But in terms of this team, maybe we're going to see... who are we missing? We're missing the mid.
We're missing their mid, yes. And Scylla is banned, as is Janus.
Janus and Noir is banned, so maybe we might see a Discordia, we might see a Vulcan or a Zeus. Not too sure who they're going to pick.
Yeah,
maybe they're really thinking about the best ult.
There's quite a few of the top mids that have been banned, actually. I think Chang'e is a really strong choice that's been left open, and that would be... It'd be pretty good. I mean, they've got a little bit of heal with Sylvanas, but not much else, so I think that would complement their team really well.
Chang'e would be really good against Athena as well for ult, and Medusa ult as well, so actually I think that'd be a really strong choice. I think that they're really taking their time to think about who would be...
I mean, they've got all the time in the world. And actually, their comp, the Charlie's Angels comp is actually already fairly well built against healing, because Cucullin and Medusa have anti-heal in their kit without building any anti-heal items. Mm-hmm. So I think Hera's pretty good. I mean, it kind of functions like an extra frontliner if you keep together quite well.
Hera's a particularly strong middle laner right now with her ultimate and her shield ability. Her transform ability gives CC, so she's just a really annoying mid to go against. I really feel for Carrick at this stage to go against Hera. Oh, but he's cracking out the Hades, which is a scary mid to go against. So I wonder if he's going to lock that in or if he's going to switch. I think he's locked it in.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
That's a brilliant pick. I think that Hades is his ultimate ability is great, especially after Neath backflip and Bellona ult. You know, they've got no escape. The rest of them, they don't have a dash, they don't have anything. So that would be a really, really good. And that's going to be nasty. Ganesha and Hades and Athena torn.
I think it's really
clever.
I think it's a fantastic pick, because it basically means that you've got Ganesha is a pretty good one for Peel, but they basically have a big comp to go for diving the back line, and that is Hera's worst nightmare, because as Hera you want to be safe and sound while Arthas does all the damage, and if you can pick off Hera, you basically killed off two gods. So you're having a back. You
mean Cucullin, not Arthur?
So yes, you're right. Sorry, I'm such an Arthur fanboy. I can't see anything else. Yeah, the other really sick solo laner. Yeah.
Seeing a couple of comments saying, "Oh no, it's Athena jungle." I know. I am really looking forward to seeing this Athena jungle. I think it's going to be, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be, oh, by the way, I'm right in front of you in your lane, and I'm going to taunt you, and you're going to die. Like, that's just that. Athena jungle is so good, especially now that her taunt does damage. I think that's brilliant. A couple of comments saying Amy and Ganesha, yay! I thought that was brilliant last time as well. The Hera pick made me smile. Yeah, it was a good pick to go with that team. We've got some shield, we've got some healing. It's going to be good. Yeah. I think this is going to be a tough game. I honestly don't know who's got the better team comp. I think that Sylvanas is more of a utility support rather than like a tanky support. Because you obviously want to build Sylvanas around being able to get in and doing the roots and doing the healing. Whereas Ganesh, you can get right in there and do a knock up and can silence them as well. So they're going to have to play and build differently to really make the most out of their team. I do think that Charlie's Angels have a slightly tankier team, Hades being slightly tankier in general as a mid, although Hera is as well. Athena, obviously, as a jungle, her base HP is much higher than a traditional assassin, and so are her protections as well. So whilst you can get away with building full damage as well, and she can last just a little bit longer in battle. So it's really interesting to see. What do you think about the synergy between the different teams?
I think, everything I say is going to have to be taken with a pinch of salt as someone who's pretty inexperienced, but just going over like the way that I expect the fights to go out, I really have to favour Charlie's Angels, because you've got some sick synergy with Cucullin and Hades going to be diving in, and Athena ulting into the backline as well. Neath and Hera are going to die so quickly. Sylvanas has got some good peel.
Because they're squishy. Nothing to do with Kiwi Bunny or Cathal, because they're squishy.
It's I'm not talking them about, I'm talking about the characters themselves, not the players. I mean, Perky Crab's going to have a lot to do to try and peel for his team. or her team, excuse me, and I think maybe Cookie Tanuki and Hearing Wolf can get it back in and kill off Big Dirty Stank, because maybe the rest of his team will just be left. It would leave them to just go and kill. But after that, it's a 4-on-3, and I don't think it's going to look good for GrogChamp. But we'll see. Who knows?
We certainly will. So here we go as we walk into the map for one of the last times. I think we've maybe got 3 or 4 games left to go of the tournament.
In the blue corner.
But we're certainly going through it in the blue corner.
Bologna. Well, they're all golden.
I quite like that they've gone for the golden skins, apart from hang on, have they all gone for the golden skin? Sylvanus has got a different skin on. He's got the legendary skin.
Okay,
that's legendary because it's but I quite like that they've all gone for a certain type of skin. It's like they've gone like proper blue team. That's quite cool, actually.
Yeah,
shout out for that.
Like
you know, putting some team in, but we're missing oh no, he's just joined us.
Yeah,
So that Tsukiyomi had taken a little while home. We've taken a little while, but
yeah. Some consoles load slower, and that's fine.
Indeed. The resolution is better, Joe. You are absolutely correct.
Awesome.
I think you might have fixed all of our Smite issues.
Yay! I'm just, by the way, I kind of like immediately gasp. Oh my gosh, Sylvanus with the Mannequin Scepter. What do you think about this? It didn't really work out for them last time, as far as I remember.
It did. I mean, it really helps with that lane clear. I would have preferred to have seen maybe. I know that you stand the Sentinel's Embrace. I know that you live for it, but at the same time, it's not particularly necessary. However, I do feel like Ganesha in general is going to be able to provide more protections to his team. However, Sylvanus is going to be able to provide healing, and if he's doing the Lotus Ground and if he's got enough cooldowns, he should be giving 30 magical and physical protections with his ability plus healing. So might not necessarily need it if he's going to get that extra tank item online later when he obviously sells mannequins, and he's going to get the early clear advantage. It's not a terrible idea as a support. Not exactly meta, but it completely depends on how the Sylvanus build goes for them.
It's a little bit of cheese for me, and it can really catch out people. I think that MVG the Night Fury and Big Dirty Stank are going to be too good to lose to this really badly. It will win them lane early on for sure. You're just going to have so much more damage, but I think it just cuts out the really good support options later in the game. That's not even an opinion. That is literally the way it works in the game. You have fewer options, and I think the support options are really good in terms of upgraded starters.
But just so if you guys don't play Smite and you're wondering what's going on, so you can buy a starter item, which is what you'll be able to see in the bottom kind of diagram that we've got here, and pretty much everybody has bought a starter item. It's the item closest to their little green and blue potions, and you can't buy another starter item once you've already bought one. You can't sell it and then buy another starter item, and you can upgrade these starter items in some incredibly strong picks later on in the game. So your starter item, although it might not be as good as another starter item, you could upgrade it to something better for later on, and it works out incredibly well. So we're talking about Sylvanus building Mannequin Scepter. Let me just pause that thought, because that looked like it was going to go somewhere, and I think it still might. Bologna over-leveled on Kukulane, but he's nearly out the way, building his rage as much as he can. That was a bit intense.
It's a very volatile matchup, this. It's so... it's so closely matched after the first few levels. Yeah. Death Toll Bologna is such a strong lane bully, as is Kukul on anything. But then I think it's one of those matchups that if you die or get ganked, then it's so hard to come back after that. So both solo laners are going to have to be playing really safe to not fall behind, and otherwise it's just going to be so much worse than if they don't.
Both renowned for being lane bullies, and I think it really will be the battle of lane bully, but it looks like Cookie Tanuki as Bologna is literally one shot in the tower. However, we've got Hera running away from a team fight in mid. Hearing Wolf stunning a Big Dirty Stunk as Tsukiyomi, but she's tanky enough to take it. She looks like she's got less health, but she actually has quite a lot left. It does look like it's a really close tie. It literally could be over in seconds any time in the solo lane, because both of them are just waiting to finish each other off.
Just hitting each other. It's what I love to see in the solo lane.
They're just bullying each other. What a gank and it's over.
Yeah, both players are so strong in solo that they barely make any mistakes, and I don't really expect to see a first blood coming in the solo lane really. But and, I mean, this might be one of those reasons why hearing we're getting a little bit low, and the chase down from Carrick's.
Did his beads, but it wasn't enough from Hades to finish him off. He manages to dart underneath, but he doesn't have his silence on the line, which is a shame. Sukiyami manages to back away. It might be able to get the red for Hera, but the...
Oh, there it is. Oh boy. Yeah, my bad.
It's what happens when Cuchulainn gets rage.
Yeah,
literally,
for sure. Yeah,
see,
it goes into.
So for those of you who don't play Smite, I don't know if you can see that that the solo laner was kind of looked a bit bigger than usual, is because Cuchulainn, the character that he's playing, his passive is that he can go into a rage and he does a lot more damage. So unfortunately that happened. But look, Bellona's back in lane because she's got the teleport rune and she's back in lane, so she's not really going to miss out on that much farm. She does give the XP and the gold to Cuchulainn for getting first blood, but she is back in lane fairly quickly, so it's not too much of a disadvantage for them at this stage of the game.
Yeah, but the TP has been used. That's in a resource, and the XP will go into Cuchulainn's favour. So it's not the worst thing, but it's still something.
It is significant, absolutely, to get first blood. But in that situation, it could have been much worse. She could have been like level 2, not had teleport online.
Yeah. Definitely. Carrick's are running a little bit out of mana, but probably the time to back. Let me have a look at the golden hand. Yeah, fair amount. So probably go back to get. What do you think will be the build path for Carrick's in mid? Obviously, I think. Oh my gosh, Kunuki's so low because his tanks probably has a ability on cooldown, but gets stunned. Probably won't get the kill.
But look, there's the Hera ultimate.
Oh,
She's going to dive the tower with the taunt and manages to secure the kill for Big Daddy Stanks. This is the Big Daddy revolution. Do not mess, do not sleep on the Athena jungle. That is why it's so powerful. And there's another Big Daddy and a Ganesha ultimate down in the duo lane. It's all going down. Can Sylvanas get out of this? Does he have Shield of Regrowth? I don't think he does, and he doesn't have a escape, so I think he's just going to have to rely on running into the tower and juking away from them. Just about manages to get away. Not sure if that's because he had a heal online or if he's just tanky enough to escape, but looks like double ultimate down in the duo lane, and it is all kicking off. 3 kills down in the first 5 minutes. More aggressive than we're used to.
Yeah.
But exciting to see.
Yeah, you're right. It's a lot. I quote from you, it's going to be very cagey at the beginning, but man, it's a bit of a love fest already.
I thought that there was that. I think what's happening though is that, unfortunately for GrogChamp, Charlie's Angels have just seen the opportunities, and because they're all, you know, they've had the practice, they're all going in, they're going, right, I'm going to ult in, I'm going to finish up, I've got my taunt online, I've got this online. They know their characters really well, they do really well in the abilities, and we're seeing that between Athena and Tsukiyomi in the jungle, but she's not going to manage to finish him off.
Also,
this is really interesting to me.
Yeah, also the Charlie's Angels, really efficient farming again. They're so far ahead in gold now. They are almost 2k gold ahead, which is a big deal for only 6 minutes in. So
yeah, absolutely.
Massive advantage. Obviously the 3 kills help with that, but it looks like they are just controlling their half of the map so well and getting surprisingly no invades yet, but I'm sure that'll happen soon.
And it does make quite a significant difference, particularly at this point in time, as you can see that that Charlie's Angels, most of them already have boots online. You can see that they've got a little icon of boots, and the 3 dots underneath means that they've fully built boots, most of them. However, barely anybody's managed to build boots on the other team. Hang on, let me just count. 1, 2, 3, and then another 4th, and then there's only 1 full boots there. Each tier of boots gives you a stack of movement speed. That means that you can outrun them, and that means that if you're running away from trying to get killed, they're faster than you, they're going to catch you, so they can snowball at this term in the game if you do have those boots online, and that's where the significance in the gold difference comes at this stage of the game, rather than there being a kind of power difference. The movement speed there, plus the extra power once you get from it being a fully built boot is surely a difference. Obviously now they've managed to return for those boots, but at that stage of the game, if they wanted to kind of abuse the fact that they did have the boots, they could have outrun them in the jungle.
Yeah, for sure. What are your opinions on getting boots before stacking item, or stacking item before boots, or a hybrid as we see with Kiwi Bunny?
I think it depends on who you're playing and how you're playing. Hang on, we might be in a bit of jungle in mid with that taunt. Even though the shield's down, she's got nothing left, and she's going to have to walk over the Ganesha ultimate to get away. She's firing as much damage as possibly can, but it's just not enough. Hades managed to finish off Cathal in middle lane, ulting down now to get Tsukuyomi out, but his beads are online again. It's just not enough for him. Athena trying to taunt them out of the tower, but it's just not enough to finish them off. One kill down, and the other two are still alive with the heals. They've got the extra sustain. There is enemy missing left. Medusa is coming in to gank them. I wonder if she has ultimate. Yes, she does. I think she's going to come in and she's going to ult them, maybe from behind, maybe from in front. But Neith is certainly aware of that, and she's coming into the fray too. Kiwi Bunny is kind of hovering around the enemy damage camp, looking to group up with their teammates to avoid this 4 versus 2 in the lane. But it looks like they're not going to initiate. That could have been really messy.
I'm really excited to see it. I just want to see the reactions of these players when they look that back on the replay, because how close were they? And they didn't look at each other. They had their backs to each other.
Yeah. They were like, "Oh, I could go in. You know, maybe they have wards that we could." Actually, there's a couple of red wards and a couple of blue wards and mid wards, so I think they could all see each other. And they just didn't want to go in. They were like, "If they initiate, we'll obviously have to come in, but I don't really want to." Hades ultimate down. It's not a great time for Medusa to ult. Because the rest of them couldn't really finish up, so I think that they did make the right call in not going in. They still managed to get a kill. They didn't need to get any more. They could have actually paid for it. So probably the right call. But it was quite intense, wasn't it? Seeing so close to each other.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for a blue invade. Or they don't quite get the blue, but they will really punish Hearing Wolf for that.
No, Hearing Wolf is really in trouble here. He just managed to get away. Bologna having to ult in, but Kukulane is chasing him. I think that Bologna might pay for this, but she runs back to her T2 tower and manages to fight off a little bit wait.
That was a really clutch ultimate there. Got this double stun and pretty much saved Tsukuyomi's life. Hearing Wolf.
I couldn't see who that was because I was used to seeing Kukulane in rage mode, so I was like, wait, that's not Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi's in the other team. I'm very confused. Athena taunt down, manages to get into them. Hades doing some massive damage and ults to secure the kill. That was just I'm definitely going to grab this kill for you and make sure that we get that in. So Hades 2-0, Kukulane 2-0. Medusa 1-0. It's quite one-sided right now, but there's the Ganesha ult. Is Sylvanas going to get away? Not quite. There's the Tsukuyomi ult trying to finish off, punishing them for overextending and getting perhaps just a little bit cocky by overextending, but it looks like Athena's managing to get away even though she's low on health. I'm not too sure that Ganesha will. Against the Tsukuyomi, he might be tanky enough to get away from it, especially as nobody else is really following up, but they decide they're just not worth it, especially with all those minions in the way. It's just too much. So they did manage to secure a kill from overextending, and that was Kukulane in his own lane, but because his allies were just kind of there going, yeah, we're on a roll now, we're all here, we can secure a kill, it just punished them a little bit.
Yeah,
and that's where you need to buy wards when you're in the enemy farm, you know, when you're on that side.
Yeah, that was Jaros's Hera ult right into the middle of 3 of them. Got so much damage off, and then you can get so much follow up with Hera as well, with all the benefits of Argus's passives basically off your abilities. So huge kill there for Jaros. That was really needed for his team.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of finishing off a stacking item, it'd be nice to see Neith return to base and finish off Transcendence at this stage. I think that she can afford to start stacking that now, because ultimately the more power from that will help her get minions faster as it, you know, scales up. 1 minion is 1 power on your when you stack that, or 0.5 power or whatever. Then it will help her clear the wave more in order for her to get boots quicker as well. I think that she can afford to stay in the tower and be a little bit careful as they are being aggressive anyway. So in my opinion, I would finish off Transcendence first, which is exactly what she's done, but she did have the extra gold to finish off the boost as well.
I tried to show the golden hand at that moment, and I think she had like 2,700 gold or something at that time. So
and then she managed to go back.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, I never do tier 1 boots and tier 2 Transcendence. I always try to complete a tier 3 item before even starting the next one. I don't think there were any cases other. I mean, the only case I would just not do that is have tier 1 transcendence.
This might spell trouble for Hera, but she just managed to shield
Ooh.
an Argus, and if she can just keep him in the tower for long enough to get the damage, it's not going to proc quickly enough, and they managed to get 2 kills in middle lane. He's becoming a bit of a slaughter and a bit of a snowball, and they're going to manage to get rid of this other tower at this stage in the game. I don't think the game's over, but it is an exceptionally strong start for Charlie's Angels, and they just seem to come out of nowhere. They seem to be coming out of the right jungle. Lots of wards in the left jungle and a couple from Charlie's Angels in the right jungle. But it'd be nice to see. I hope we can get some blue wards on the screen, although I can't really see.
It's pretty hard to see. There's basically like 1 or 2 in the left jungle and 3 in the right jungle. But it's not. I
can see them by the Totem of Ku, but and then 1 kind of near the middle camp. But it'd be nice to see them at the entrances around them, so they could know which side of the jungle they're kind of pathing from.
Yeah, it's like another brilliant engagement. What an ult from!
Oh my goodness!
MVP the Night Fury. That was so much damage.
That was such a good ult.
That was
and the torn onto the ult from Athena as well.
That
so
was.
You're trying to run away from it and then managed to get stuck on the line.
That was insane.
That was amazing. So what I usually do when I'm a carry is I will build a starter item, and I will build a tier 1 stacking item. Usually Devourer's Gauntlet, sometimes Transcendence. And then I will finish boots before I build the stacking item. In 90% of cases. Sometimes I'll finish Devos or Transcendence, but sometimes I'll just build the boots because I'm fairly easy with the carry.
Yeah, that was the exception I'd give, like tier 1 of Transcendence or Devos, and then finish boots before finishing.
Yeah, there's no point in starting with tier 1 boots as a carry because it only gives you like 6% movement speed, but you would much benefit from 20 physical power or 5 power, 10% attack speed or whatever. As a very, very squishy, weak hunter in the beginning of the game, you definitely want that.
Yeah. Big Dusty Stanks is really abusing their lead in the solo lane. I mean, it's part of the reason why they could get that tier 1 tower and win that fight is the freedom that they had to rotate from having won the solo lane so hard. Poor old Thackety was left in the solo lane to try and farm, and oh my gosh, what another engagement before I can finish my next point. Doesn't look like they may get a kill if they retreat far enough now, and although they had to pop the Argus ult, and that only has a set timer. Bit of resources used for Team GrogChamp.
Yeah, unfortunately. But what a grab from Sylvanas, getting him into the tower and managing to root him with the ultimate for Kukulane, doing a lot of damage there. But Carrick's is there to back him up, and you don't want to get too close, obviously, to Hades because you know what he can do.
What damage!
Oh my goodness! Neith comes back in the game to secure a kill, and there's the Ganesha ult as usual, amazing. Athena manages to secure a kill, but Tsukiyomi's ulting. I don't think that was a good idea. Now he's in the middle of the fray with half health, and there's 3 really strong damages there. Sylvanas just trying to get away. But there's a really, really intense fight. Athena just manages to get rid of Tsukiyomi because she's got more health. It's just not fair. You know, when you get to that stage, Athena versus Tsukiyomi, and you're building full damage, Athena's got more health than you. She's just gonna wreck. Oh man, this is intense. I think it's not even about the skill of these players, and they're so even, and it is split-second decision making. You know, they're not making mistakes. I think it's just the composition. I think they're just against a better composition. They're more tanky. You know, they have more online. Their abilities have more synergy with each other. I think that's working really, really well for Charlie's Angels, and in order to change the game up for Team GrogChamp, they're going to need to think of some tactics and wait to use abilities until another ability is down from a god. After Athena's taunt is down, then you can get right up in her face. But until then, you might want to, wait until she's used it on something else. Or after Nesha, focus a god, focus Athena's taunt with your disable so it's over in a split second. Every time she does it, silence her so it's gone. Or if you see that Medusa's about to silence her, wait and use it for that. Or even Hades.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was imagining with the way that they've drafted around this Athena pickup is so clever, because pretty much all apart from Medusa, who is just kind of casually farming their lane, are going to want to go in and get up and close and personal, and that Athena ult to synergize with that game plan is so clever, and it's been working out so well for them. Every time Athena's been ulting in, it's just been curtains.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and just look at these Oh my goodness, there's a Tsukuyomi ult really pushing that engagement.
Doesn't do
Not sure
much
that's a good idea
damage.
because 3 of them are in the jungle and they're only half
Oh
health. I
my
think that is
gosh.
going to be a definite kill there. Bellona dash down, but it's not enough to get away from 3 of them tower diving. Hades out, Athena dash, and Taunt. Just not enough to get away from that at this point. I think in order to secure this early lead, we're going to need to see Charlie's Angels push for those objectives. I'm going to want to see them go for Gold Fury. I'm going to want to see them go for a Phoenix, maybe Fire Giant, Ward, take their camps. Don't let them get to level 20. Utilize this really strong lead. Don't let them come back, because I know for a fact that if they did manage to level up, there could be a team fight where Team GrogChamp could come back from this, this unfortunate start that they've had.
Yeah, it's possible. I think they may scale to at least equalize later in the game. But it's so hard when you're behind at this stage. Like, level differences is crazy. Let's have a look at the golden XP difference. It's 8k XP, 9k XP difference, and 6k gold difference. That's so rough. I would not be surprised here if they tried to pull Fire Giant, because they can bully them away and maybe even just bait them into going in and trying to contest and then winning another team fight.
Absolutely agree with you. I think that at this stage, I'd be looking to engage those team fights to win them, if I was Charlie's Angels. There's the Ganesha ultimate going down. They're actually quite low health. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get away from this, but I think that if they group up together, then they probably can. Unfortunately, Bellona just a little bit out of position there. There's the Athena ult. She's coming into battle, but she gets stunned by the Sylvanas. I thought that they were going to use that momentum to their advantage, but they are actually just chasing them into their side of the map. Get away from our objectives. We're going to have complete map control. The Sylvanas ultimate is down. That's going to do some tick damage, but it's not going to be enough to get kind of a lot of significant damage on Cooper Lane.
You can see a bit of a fight in this duo lane as well, with Big Dirty's tank being 3 levels ahead.
With
it's so hard to see what's exactly going on. All that Kiwi Bunny can do is just sit in their tower, because you're not going to win
she's
that
doing
fight.
exactly what needs to do, but little does she know that she's about to get dove by Athena. Watch the dash to the taunt and the ult.
And in the background you can see
I think this is going to be gnarly. She doesn't know that she's there.
Yeah, in the background you can see the Gold Fury going down, and Kiwi Bunny's in so much trouble. Oh my goodness, that Athena jungle. Carrix was right. It's broken.
That's an absolutely brilliant thing to do, and that's some real skill from Big Daddy Stunk there, is to wait until the knee back is down to use the taunt.
Oh my goodness, Big Dirty Stank escapes with their life.
That is jammy. That is jammy.
What a good Aegis, though.
He should not be alive. You see that jump? He's still running just in case he's being followed. Like, this is, I'm getting away from this fight. I kept talking because I thought that was going to be a kill. I was like, I don't need to commentate this. We're going to see that he's going to die. He's on low health. I can't believe he got away from that. And he's in the tower. And he's staying in the tower? He's going to stay in the tower?
These 3 players here have got to go run away.
You haven't got ult. Yeah, okay. That's exactly what I was thinking, man.
Yeah. That's going to be so tilting for GrogChamp, though. Like, seeing their Medusa being that low and not securing the kill when you've only got 2 at this point, it's got to be like, oh man. Head up, team. You can do it. You can do it, guys.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know. I'm not in that situation, but I from playing with some more chill people, losing a game, I've really we can win this back later. It looks like Tsukuyomi and Kukule might bump into each other. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think they're just kind of passing, 2 ships passing in the night. Pyromancer and Fire Giant on the map. Right Tower about to go. No, actually, it's not the enemy minion wave. I'm not sure. They probably can test Pyromancer at this stage because there's not much momentum in terms of team fights, in terms of objectives. They're going to be
Kiwi Bunny's a bit out of position
on towers soon.
Jumps into Ganesha's dash and then ult. Kiwi Bunny's probably not going to live this, but what a brilliant ult from the Perky Crab, getting like a 3 or 4 man knock up, but then the damage is just
really
too much.
Good ult to buy them some time. Definitely that knock up is incredibly helpful for your squishies, but Hades and Kukulane and yeah, there's just a lot of damage right now. I was just about to comment on the fact that GrogChamp were about to be up in towers, because you can see the right one's about to go on there, but it looks like they're doing a split push here and they're going to secure those 2 towers there, and then they'll probably get the right one as well, and they manage to secure all of the last T1 towers. But I mean, other than that, there was a point where I was like, do you know what? Actually, the difference isn't that significant because they can actually just get another tower, and then they'd be ahead in towers. But it looks like they're making a serious assault on
Stank is
final
trying
T1s.
to get some poke on the Phoenix. I didn't think that was ever going to fall with the respawn timers, but I thought that maybe that was going to be like a way to try and persuade them away from the fire giant. But they're just getting the pyromancer. But I don't know if they're not quite. They haven't got the health bars for the fire giant, I think.
Too sure, yeah. I think that they were just thinking about doing pyromancer.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, like, these team fights are really rough for GrogChamp, but they are staying in it as best as they can, for sure. Like, they're farming really efficiently. They've got all the tier 1 towers down, and they're contesting where they need to.
So just having a quick chat with team captains. There should just having a couple of technical issues. So if the game does pause, it's because somebody may have disconnected. I'm not too sure. I'm just finding out a couple of more information.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. I could feel my phone buzzing. And bear in mind, chat, that we are 3 minutes behind the game minimum. So anything that is happening on our end in terms of conversation is 3 minutes ahead of what will happen. So we may see a pause in the kind of near future. But now we can see the W keys coming in for Charlie's Angels, pushing them all the way back to their Phoenix, just getting so much territory. But not much reward for it yet. I think maybe they're just trying to think about sieging the Phoenix, causing a team fight. And Carrick's gets some big ult off, forces so many beads, gets a ton of damage onto Perky Crab. And the shell there, maybe so.
Goodness, he's such low health and manages to get away, but the Phoenix are actually being dove, so I'm not sure they're going to manage to survive this. I think that they might make a serious assault.
Oh, what damage! That was insane!
That was a Medusa ult, I think.
Yeah, you're right, it was.
That's the last stand from Medusa ultis to get out of it, and there's one person alive defending the Titan. It's just Sylvanas. Sylvanas against the full team of really low people, and he doesn't have ultimate, but he does have the attack stick buff, and he does have Mannequin Scepter. Interesting. Come on, Mannequin Sylvanas, you can. I mean, A for effort, though,
guys. It slaps, guys.
That was just such a snowball. Look how low Carrick's is. Hades is just so.
Oh, wait, okay. Well, what a time to pause.
What? Pause it.
Okay. That's. Yeah.
Do you know what happened? Is Carrick's disconnected? That's why. He disconnected.
He PC'd at that point. Oh my god. What a time.
Well, I'm so confused as to the pause, but I mean, can we let's just Joel?
I'm here. That's all right. My gosh, that was. I mean, we really hoped for a comeback for Team GrogChamp, but that was really rough. I mean, they just had to really. I don't know how they could have done it. How they could have avoided that Medusa ult at the end, but like,
you know, when you lose a game that you're winning, or when you win a game that you're technically losing, right? The only reason that happens is because you give the other team the opportunity to. And in terms of map control and just, you know, I mean, the sheer time of that game was, you know, 20-something minutes. Usually Conquest games go on for 30+ minutes. They ensured that they had that win. They ensured that momentum that they had right from the beginning was carried through, and they did not let them anywhere near bringing the game back. You know, they only had 2 kills on that team, and it wasn't for lack of trying. There was some great engagement and some fantastic skill from Team GrogChamp. They just were not given the opportunity because they had a more aggressive team. Athena can afford to be more aggressive when she comes in because she's got more health. So they did have that on their side. I think we'll definitely see a couple of bans reflective of that. But let's just take a little break, if you can, while we just sort things out with the captains. And we'll be back with you guys very shortly for round 2.
See you guys in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. What a somp, but what a game. We can have a look at more details if you want, but what are your thoughts after that game, mainly, Lizzie?
I think that every single time that Charlie's Angels did an ultimate, they got a kill or a tower or, you know, a full minion wave or a camp or whatever. So I would expect to see an Athena ban, a Ganesha ban, and then maybe some strong other bans, maybe King Arthur and Tyr and Cuchulainn, and ones that you want to think about banning if you're not going to pick them.
You can only ban 5 gods.
Sorry?
You can only ban 5 gods.
Yeah, I know. It's hard, isn't it? So I would think about banning a lane bully, but I don't. The thing is, there wasn't a specific area that they would go, oh, okay, like we'll just ban against this next time. And it was just like a total map domination because their synergy was so well. So I would just want to think about going, okay, well, I didn't have an escape or whatever as this god, so I'm going to play differently this time by picking this god, and if they do this again, then whatever, or I want to ban this because I can't avoid this. And I think that they're clever enough to do that. They're clever. Oh, we'll ban this, this, and this, and we'll ban this, this, and I think that they're ready to go. In terms of what to do differently for Charlie's Angels, I think, firstly, nothing. Because how do you go 25-2 in less than 30 minutes? Just, you know, it was a fantastic game. I think that now Team GrogChamp are just going to prove that they have the ability to get a good early game. Now we might see some aggressive Amir plays, which I'm hoping to see from Perky Crab, actually. He's very good with Amir.
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to see what they choose to ban in the next draft. But, I mean, there's so many good god choices for Charlie's Angels, but maybe it'd just be trying to ban specific gods for a certain game plan, like what Athena enables, and other gods that allow that big W key aggression. So, I mean, Ganesha isn't really associated with that. I honestly think Athena's like one of the biggest keys for why that worked out so well, and it means that you can pick up gods like Hades and do really well with them. So I think it might be just a matter of maybe just Athena, and then all the other ones that we just really don't want to play against.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, if you could just see if Beth can moderate the chat.
That would be nice.
If you can just keep it wholesome, guys. This is a wholesome Smite tournament. Thanks.
Just really quickly,
everyone.
Thank you. We don't have any moderators right now. I mean, if we have anyone else in chat that we know and trust, I'm very willing to give you moderation privileges, and that will help the moderation team in general.
Cameron's in, yeah.
Yeah. I have queued to spectate, so we're going to go straight into the game straight away.
For calling it out or everything, but it's really no problem. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I might do that on the side if I can. It's really hard to do as many different things.
No, mate, honestly, you just focus on your thing. Give Cameron moderator things. It's no problem.
Yeah. Some very interesting.
There's hilarious comments, but this is a wholesome tournament.
Yeah, literally,
and we're gonna keep
wholesome
it
is in the name.
Yeah.
It's funny. Let's keep talking about Smite.
Let's
have a look at the damage, the team or the fight details from the previous game, and Jaros, man, doing 13k damage in that previous game, and it was such a rough game. That's really impressive. I mean, I think it's really hard to do that much damage as a Hera, but it seems like Cathal, as the AKA may be, really knows what they're doing.
100%. I genuinely don't believe that there were any mistakes made. I think that there were just opportunities denied, and it's really hard to kind of identify those. Yeah, I don't know what I would have done differently, is basically what I'm saying, is because I'm not as good as anybody who is playing here tonight. Every single player is much better than me, much more skilled than me. So in terms of commentating on it, I'm just like, I don't know what to say. They did really, really well. I would have gone way more negative, Charlie's Angels were were incredibly good, but I think with me, I probably would have gone 0-13, you know. So I think that I believe in Team GrogChamp. I've seen them come back from really hard fights. I think that they do have the ability to do that. However, you just saw how good Charlie's Angels are. They might be denied the opportunity. It could honestly go either way.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think like Team GrogChamp have so much capability to bring it back and know exactly how to adapt to the way that Charlie's Angels played the map and the way that they played the game. So yeah, I think it could. I'm really, at least, really hoping for a much closer game and maybe even a 2-1 in this matchup overall. We're still spectating, by the way. Do you know if they've started their game?
They didn't know that they could start, so they are just doing it now.
Okie dokie, no problem. I think my guess is that some of the users in chat are known to some of the other users and are now like, lol.
I literally know exactly where they came from, and they are being muted and banned.
I'm all up. Guys, you can have as much banter as you like. Use all the Twitch emotes at your exposure. That's totally fine, but you should probably know where it crosses the line. That's all I'll say on that. But
yeah, it's like we can take it, but this is actually just a wholesome community, so that's why we're kind of being a bit like, you know, just please, like, keep it wholesome, guys. You know, Joel, if you can just give Cameron some extra privileges in terms of admin, if you can.
Yeah,
don't worry if you can't.
I can try and do that. If you can talk about the bans, I will hold on, start streaming the match to you really quick.
Shout out to Daniel Askew, who's put his name in the chat. Because I know that you're desperate to get a shout out. Maybe if I do this, it will stay wholesome. So I'll shout you out if you want. But yeah, shout out to Bryn putting random faces in the chat.
Roles manager.
Okay.
Agnew.
Yes, we see a Chuck pick. I love Chuck in the solo lane. Joel, don't you just love seeing Chuck in the solo lane?
Oh, I just love it. I love it so much. I honestly, let's be fair. Chuck does have a pretty good early game. Maybe that's the thinking behind the pick of Chuck into the, like, be able to bridge them into the late game a little bit. But
Chuck is a strong solo laner. Chuck is a consistent solo laner. He's a strong solo laner. He has a heal. He can juke. He's got an aerial throw. They didn't ban the Athena, so we're seeing another Athena. This is going to get messy. They're going to need my beads.
Yeah.
I think that Tyr has a better late game for sure, but I think that Chuck is a good solo laner. I don't think that he falls off late game. I know that this is what the pros say. I'm not a pro, so I don't have to say it. I stand Chuck, so that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's interesting that they could both banned. They banned both King Arthur and Cucullin. They really want to try and strip away everything that Stanks can throw at them. But Tyr, man, Stanks can really play Tyr. I think they're gonna have another really rough game.
That's going to be a stanky Tyr.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know the matchup, but like, if Tyr goes Bluestone, I think it's gonna be so rough for Chuck. Even though Chuck has good early game, Tyr is like one of the best, if not the best, early game solo laner. So I don't know. It could be really another really volatile one. We'll see. And then Athena, Ganesha picks, you know, super solid, but both comfort picks and really good picks as well. Works out for them so well. Right now, at least, it looks like Charlie's Angels are pretty much going for the same strategy as well. I mean, now the Athena's been picked up, I think they can still go for those other picks, which allow them to really go in on the rest of Team GrogChamp without them being able to react fast enough, especially with picks like Skadi. Skadi doesn't have a dash.
Scotty doesn't have a dash, but she does have a stun with her ultimate. She does have a pet, and she does have the scythe as well.
That counts for something.
No, I mean, like, they're called pets. Like, you know, like Kazembo's turtle, Vulcan's cannon, Skadi's dog. They're literally defined as pets. They're not defined as, like, other things. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's literally called a pet. So, I mean, the pet is a separate dynamic, and only a couple of characters have them. And also, she has a speed buff by her too, which is also a slip and slide. So I think that's a good thing to have. Yes, she doesn't have a dash, but doesn't mean she doesn't have necessarily an escape.
Well,
But we're
yeah, I
seeing,
see.
hang
I
on,
think
wait a second. Scardy mid.
Yeah, well, it's a good observation, Cult King Husband, although they may use the ability to switch gods after picks. Well, we're running out of free time here. I wonder is there a problem? Oh no, they're just really struggling to pick who to ban.
I think it's just intense.
So they may swap Kiwi Bunny's pick for a mid with Scardy, but it could be a Scardy mid. We'll see.
I'm not too sure. I think we've seen a couple of off meta. We did see the Ola play when Wizzy was subbing in. So I mean, he might be holding it for somebody else, but not too sure.
Oh man, Cupid's such a strong pick. Without Medusa, yeah, Cupid I think is actually better.
Cupid is a very, very strong pick. I mean, Big Daddy Stank is good with Ummers and Cab as well. So I was kind of thinking if the Medusa was banned because of her ult last game and she did a lot of damage, especially late game, that ult is just annoying.
Hades again. Oh my gosh, this is the same lineup but with Cupid instead of Medusa.
But let's just give a shout out to the aggressive Amir pick, because I've seen Perky Crab play Amir. I've been personally annihilated by Perky Crab playing Amir. So,
yeah, there they are.
There
Anubis
we go.
mid.
Yeah, it's doing the swap.
Cathal's infamous Anubis, apparently. Certainly infamous. It's not famous to me, but well, Cathal is one by one showing their capability with every mid ever picked by them. Well, I think this should be really interesting. I think Ymir pick is so good because that peel is going to be much better for being able to stop the aggression from Charlie's Angels. Although Ymir is a much better god to pick when you're ahead, is such a good run it down god. And
yeah.
Scardy Ymir is pretty good for going for, I mean, well, that frost synergy, because that's how it works in Smite, forehead. But I think it could still be a pretty good matchup against Ganesha Cupid. Like, they might be able to do...
I agree with you. I know that Cupid's got the dash and then obviously leaves that stream that other people can get away from other people as well. Ganesha's also got a dash, so they can do something a bit more speedy. But however, Amir has walls to stop that. He has freezes to stop that. Scardy has the ice to knock you out of position. Amir is the tankiest god in base stats in the game. I've just noticed that the game says Baroonies instead of...
Oh, that's me. Hello.
Yeah, that's my fault because I advertised this game.
Oh no, that's my fault. That's all my fault.
And then I had Connor from Baroonies messaging me, "Are we supposed to tell you in 8 minutes?" And I was like, "No, I'm so sorry."
That's definitely me. It's not on you. That is literally just me recycling previous resources from the last week and forgetting to change everything.
This is got the budget of this tournament is large. We budgeted for this tournament.
Yeah, we're being paid full time. Please help us.
The prize money is 1,000 nothing. I don't know. I quite like the Cupid ult. With the Ganesha ult, I think that's nasty. I think that is ridiculous.
Yeah. And Hades ult I think is really nice when the two backliners will start to play together there.
Massive area effect off at Amir as well though, and you've got that Scardy pet. The Anubis wrap is also different. I honestly think that although we're seeing quite a similar team in terms of Charlie's Angels, but the GrogChamp have learnt their lesson in terms of what they needed to do, and they've picked gods that are powerful to start with, that have proper damage, proper CC to start with this time, and I actually think that this genuinely could go either way now. Really, really thinking about team compositions, I think that although Athena Jungle is back, we've got the Anubis wrap, we've got the Amir freeze, we've got the Chuck ult. So who knows? And also, do you know that if you're Tsukiyomi and you're ulting an Athena while she ults, when she travels to her new place, you also travel with her?
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, so you can actually bring the Tsukiyomi into the fountain if you ult something in the fountain while he ults you. It's quite funny.
So situational, but also hilarious, and I'd love to
I've
see
actually
that.
I've seen it on.
Really?
Was it Panda Cat or was it Rexy? When Tsukuyomi ulted Athena, Panda Cat was ulting somebody, and then the Athena decided to go back to base, and Panda Cat was just stuck by the Titan, and they were just looking at each other like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, for me, it's I still prefer team Charlie's Angels composition. I think it works so well together. Yeah, and when we saw how well it works together previously, even without Medusa being in the back line, and now with Cupid, I think that's like. I mean, it's not the healing's not that impactful, but like the Fields of Love is such a good team fight utility that I actually think they've. I don't know. It's a similar like effect to Medusa's ult as well. I think it basically they're going with the same game plan. I don't know. I think like obviously very clearly GrogChamp are going to go with a different strategy with almost an entirely different composition. But I would just love to see how they manage to play around the way that the aggression of Charlie's Angels with this new composition, because it's not really very obvious to me how they're going to do that.
It'll be interesting to see what they've picked up as a team in their own chats in terms of how to play against it. But I'm seeing Bluestone Chuck. What do you think about that?
It probably works really well actually, because most of your damage as Chark comes from your 1 and then is it 2? I'm so unfamiliar with the god that I don't know which one it is, but the 1 into dash, if you manage to actually hit with the axe, it'll get both those stacks of Bluestone on, which would be pretty good. And I think it's all going to be about where you place the axe and trying to avoid the Tears Fearless, because that's where the majority of the Tears damage output comes from, and avoiding that's the key way to play against Tyr in solo lane. But it also means you have to give space for Tyr to just do his own thing, and he'll probably be able to clear the lane with a little bit more ease than Shark can.
I mean, I don't know. I don't play Tyr, but I do play Chuck, and I love Chuck. Everyone knows it's down the Chuck, so...
We love Chuck.
We love Chuck. We love Chuck.
You know that meme that we talked about last time about Stanks? I did make that, but I didn't manage to prepare it in time for the stream, so I might just like sloppily like show it at the very end.
Yeah, do it, because I've completely forgotten about it, so just have to see. Yeah. Win or lose, you know?
Yeah. Other than the Bluestone Shark, I think like pretty much every item choice is pretty standard. I wouldn't have chosen many other things for any god in particular. Like for me, when I play Tsukuyomi, I like to go Bumba's Dagger and then tier 2 boots with no items, no consumables, because you get enough sustain from a Bumba's Dagger anyway. Kukinuki a little bit low here, can't quite get to level 3 without killing those minions. Oh boy, that Fearless is going to be so bad.
Bully.
Yeah, there we go.
That's just such a bully. Tyr is just a bully.
I know you're a stan of Chuck, but I'm sorry, that's just not much I stand,
as we've seen in the Twitch chat, Chuck is a daddy, okay? We stan Chuck. People in the chat saying, you know, my favourite solo start with Chuck is Bluestone, and this person's also a solo main as well, Joel, so we pretend we know what we're talking about. I love Chuck, yeah. Chuck is a zaddy.
Chuck. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, what was that? What were you saying?
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean that Tyr isn't better than Chuck, but Chuck is still a daddy, okay? Leave it out.
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry in particular to Cookie Tanuki for fighting the corner of anti-Chuck, but... Man, that's rough. That's really rough. 2 kills.
You need to know, Tash. This isn't an anti-Tash parade that Joel's got.
Definitely.
Joel is just generally and has always been anti-Chuck and pro Tyr, Kukulane, King Arthur, Bellona. Like he's like, if Final K says it's good, then I say it's good.
Oh yeah, metas exist for a reason. They stand for most effective tactics available. So that's me. That's my personality. I go for what's best. Let's do it.
Do you know what meta is a synonym for? Basic. So I ain't no meta basic bitch.
Yeah, that's whatever. I play Hearthstone, I follow meta, yeah, whatever. Anyway, this only with only 2 kills, this game's far from over. I mean, a super rough solo lane for sure. And Cookies
I
Nuke
was
is going to be
about to say that Tier's already got ult and it's 3 minutes.
I mean, it's only 1 level difference at this point. That is, probably the biggest level, the most important level gap in the game. But we did actually miss a little, not exactly a failed gank, but a no kill success from Hearing Wolf from the gank here in duo lane, and now a rotation from Carrots along.
You can see that they're definitely playing a bit more aggressively this time around, wanting to secure that early lead.
Yeah. I think they understand that. When a solo laner gets so far ahead, they are going to be, if they get those 2 kills, they are going to be the highest level character in the game at that point. And it's so hard to gank a solo laner when they're that far ahead. Even if you're like only a couple of levels behind as a jungler, if your solo laner's the same way, their solo can solo both of you in some situations. You'd be so careful, so it's just much easier to gank the duo lane.
Yeah, it's happened to me when I'm like, help in the solo lane, even though it's called solo. And my jungle comes over and I die, and then the solo enemy solo just gets jungled.
Maybe you know if you're a little bit in trouble here. The freeze has popped, so it's on cooldown. Not going to quite be able to secure the kill as a result. Lack of CC
just
there.
Not enough. But enough to push back, maybe for a recall.
Big deal, yeah. So a relatively famous Dota article exists that says that killing them is good, but almost killing them is almost as good. And because part of the value of killing someone is that they don't farm. They have to go back and like all that time to go back from the fountain to heal up and to walk all the way back to lane it's really expensive in terms of gold per minute. So there's a lot of value in almost killing someone. You never have to feel bad for missing a kill, unless
you need to say that to the people who are like, oh, I'm shot.
Yeah, no, right. Cameron's going to be like, oh man, I'm going to feel so much better about my game now.
I love my boyfriend very much, but every game, at least 7 times, you will hear, he's one shot!
Every game.
I can't believe he's still alive!
Every game.
At least 7 times every game, yeah, in the first 1 minute.
We love you, Cameron.
Shout out to Cameron, he just got me with a glass of wine, so...
What a rap from Jaros there to basically save his life. Barely takes any poke for it. That's incredible.
And that's an ult down as well, which is extremely valuable because that you don't want to be near that ult.
Yeah, Hearing Wolf level 5 going in on 2 players. This is really, I don't know. It looks a bit dangerous, but I think they're only focused on the farm at that point.
Yeah, he was just contesting for the camp. He was like, I'm going to steal the camp. I'm going to steal the camp, because he knows what happens when you get a couple of levels behind. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, and so far Cookie Nuki's doing pretty well to avoid Tier. Look at that. That's how I imagine you'd play Chuck against Tier, just avoiding that Fearless by blinking away with the axe. And now, I mean, even though being a level behind, I think Cookie Nuki's played this like as well as possible. Since going behind, you cannot ask for a kill back when you're behind as a solo laner. It's just like
100%. Yeah, and I think they know what they're doing now. And they came back in, it was just, oh, oops, shouldn't have done that. And now they're going, right, okay, cool, I understand this Tier. I need to farm in my lane, I need to not fall behind. I think that they understand. And I think as a Chuck, you understand what your abilities do quite well. You can understand when you can afford to go out, when you can afford to heal, when you can afford to rotate, what those things that you can do. I mean, I don't play Tier, I know he's a stance shifter, but...
Ooh, you know, if you're super low here, but Jaros is massively outnumbered. There's 4 players.
4 of them there to secure the kill. That is a massive gank there to secure 1 kill in the middle lane. I mean, I know that obviously there's been 3 kills, but I mean, that's a lot of manpower in the lane for that.
Can't really you can't really do much as Jaros there with Anubis, again, another character without a dash. Not to say that's like makes the character bad at all, but it's you can't really survive a 4-man gank, especially even if you did get out of that Ganesha ultimate. Right there was Big Dirty Stanks with the Tier ultimate in the tower, covering every option. I really loved that use of the ultimate, even though it didn't hit anyone.
I actually think that the only mids that would have been able to escape that would have either been Rajin or Scylla, because they would have been able to go against the under the wall to get away from the taunt from Athena. Apart from that would have been it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Even so, like any other mid is just, even with a dash, you're still squishy. You're so squishy at this level of the game.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not really sure exactly like how the situation emerged, but it looked like MG the Night Fury was low enough that they wanted to try and secure that kill. And Cookie Tanuki's another bit of trouble, but that silence is so valuable to try and buy so much time. Nice wall from Perky Crab to try and dissuade one of them from getting in the tower.
But he's just juking in the tower. The tower's going to finish the damage. That's it. Chat manages to secure the final damage on that, even though most of that was the tower, and that's exactly what you need to do. If somebody's tower diving you, make them pay for it. You run around like crazy. You use your heal. You jump, because I'm certain that if you jump in Smite, even though it doesn't make your movement speed faster, it makes your movement speed faster. If you jump, I'm sure.
I've got to say there, like, that peel from Perky Crab was everything. Every ability was used at the perfect time, and again, it almost get a net to kill on Big Stucky Sunk. But I mean, the not only the free, you know, the wall earlier on to try and stop the, you know, both players going into the tower, but the freeze beforehand and the ult as well to slow down and secure the kill on once Big Dutty Stanks took that much damage. That was perfect. Absolutely faultless play, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really, really good thing to do. And I've already told you before, don't mess with Perky Crab as a Mir. I've been ruined by a Mir. I'm a 2-star down Zaburo. I was like, I can take on a Mir, but no.
Yeah. We might have ourselves a game now. I mean, Tyr is still ahead in terms of the solo lane, but now took them a lot longer to get that kill, their first kill for GrogChamp in this game. So looks like they may have a good chance.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And, you know, as we said before the game started, that, you know, they've learned from what was happening before. And I think that they picked gods that do have, even if they didn't have an escape, a couple of freezes in CC.
Ooh, Kanuki again, 4 players around him, but an excellent ult. That saves their life for sure. That was brilliant. That is the power of Tyr, to be fair, to be able to escape those situations. And to have the silence.
100%. And also to shove people into them as well.
Yeah. And to be fair, actually, like, you know, I think that's probably one of the smart choices about Chak, actually, even though they're considered not so great. One of the the effectiveness of silences is it's so good against ability-based gods, and understanding that, you know, maybe they'd be like, oh, you know what, we don't have to ban any of their gods. We can just play gods that work well against the comp they want to do, and their comp is like fully ability based. Looks like Cookie Tanuki may have DC'd here, which is super unfortunate. Just gets a ton of damage as a result. I think that looked like Stanks just respecting the fact that there was probably a DC there.
I'm not too sure. I'm having a couple of connection issues on my side, actually. Let me just have a little quick look. Do you think there's somebody who's disconnected?
It looked like Cookie Tanuki disconnected for a while because she's just sat still for ages and took a lot of damage from Tyr, but then eventually came back.
If that happens to me, if I'm ever still in a game, I have lost my vape and I'm looking for it.
Oh, right, yeah. Maybe that happened, who knows?
Maybe she's like, where's my vape?
Yeah, got to change the song.
Oh, that's a couple of ultimates down and the Tsukuyomi ult going out of the Ganesh ult. I'm not sure he takes damage as he goes over that, but Carrix is ulting just to see if he can get some lifesteal as a last stand from it. But that's the Anubis route.
Jawas gets so much damage on them.
It's so squishy. Why is it all going down in mid lane? Why is everybody coming to the mid lane at this point in time? Come on, Tsukuyomi, you can get away. You're just like one shot. And there's the tiered ult down. I don't think even Amir, the tankiest god in the game, is going to be able to get out of this unless he's got a wall or anything, but they're going to tower dive. That's a triple kill for the Big Daddy Revolution.
That's the nature of this map. Like, everyone just loves to fight in mid. I mean, solo laners, usually, you know, one solo laner gets ahead and they want to try and rotate in mid to help out the team. And oh boy, Cookie Tanuki trying to help out the team by rotating as well, but there's just not much you can do if you're behind. And when the rest of your team falls as a result of the Fed solo laner initiating so well, it's just, you're just going to end up with a 1v4 afterwards anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they've learnt their lesson from the game dynamics, and when you're not just playing against the, you know, you're not just playing against Skadi, Amir, Anubis, Chak, and Tsukuyomi. You're playing against Cookie Tanuki, Perky Crab, Kiwi Bunny, Hearing Wolf, and I can't read that name, but I know it's Cathal. And once you know who they're playing and who you're playing and their playstyle, oh, hang on a second, there is a look at that silence in the Cupid ult so that they couldn't get away from it or do any damage. That was it. That was a death sentence, and they're coming in to try and support it with the wrap. And the Anubis ultimate trying to get that steal from it, and the Amir ultimate down there to the back one shot. Oh, I managed to secure the kill. I can't believe that. That was so intense, but that heart bomb might do some serious stunning damage. It's just not enough to
oh man, big stuff in terms of relics in that engagement. Like, it was Kiri Bunny beezed ages ago because of the amount of CC coming out earlier, and then the Cupid ult lasts so long that just as the beads runs out in terms of the immunity, that's when the Cupid stun happened, and then that was the death sentence. And now Jaros is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they just stayed too long, and they should have backed after they managed to get, you know, out of the situation they were in. They came in, they made the best of a bad situation, and do you know what? If you stay in that team fight, everybody resets and they come back with full health and more items online. You should not stay in those team fights for very long. Conquest is about objectives. It's not arena. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Fortnite. You go back to base and you focus on objectives. That's what Conquest is. It's an art form. Very much like Tai Chi. Oh no, ganks. Gonk! There's a massive gonk in the duo lane, and I don't think that even Amir is tanky enough to deal with this. With the Hades ult, manages to secure the kill, and Tim manages to get another.
Oh my gosh!
Are they going to manage to get out of this? No.
We can't watch all this action, guys. Stop playing such good Smite.
Please slow down, because I can't. It's really hard to commentate when you're just like, oh hi, I'm here, bam, you're dead.
Yeah.
Get wrecked, son, I think is the saying. Yeet, control alt del yeeted, I think is the phrase.
Del yeeted, yeah.
I mean, once you are so far ahead in the game, there's nothing you can do. You have to be careful and you have to farm. If they're taking your farm and if they're diving your tower, you can't do anything. You literally can't do anything. And I think that, you know, that Charlie's Engines are so confident in their ability to do that, that it makes an incredibly hard competition for Team GrogChamp. Even, you know, with these more confident picks, and they've come back a little bit better with the Anubis and the Amir. I feel like they're doing a bit more in this game.
Perky Crab, you beast.
And I think that, you know, Perky Crab is going for Big Daddy Stank. This Amir is saying to this Cupid, I'm going to get you, I am punishing you for going into my lane. But what he doesn't know is that Ganesha and Hades are going to punish him for trying to go to have a wall. Let me alone.
That was, oh, I love it. I love seeing that Amir play. It was so, like, ruthlessly aggressive. I mean, that's a level 4, it was a level 14 Cupid. And you're level 11 Amir just, like, winning the fight. That's insane. And Jaros is in another lot of big trouble. Lifesteal's insane. Oh my goodness, he lives, and well, not for long, obviously, against the 2v1, but getting a kill in that situation was clutch. That was so good.
That's all you can do, isn't it? If you get dove in that situation. I actually missed that because I've just taken a quick look at the chat, making sure that everything's going on okay in there after we had a little bit of a rough start during the games before no one was moderating and they got a little bit out of hand. So I'm having to keep an eye on it. Like, so I missed the Anubis death and the Anubis kill. I'm going to have to watch the Twitch stream back and go for it. But I think that if you're squishy and you're going to die and you have ult and you think someone's low, you might as well go for it.
That is how you have to play Anubis. You're such a glass cannon without a dash, and all you have is Bancross Talon basically telling you to go for it, do damage while you're low, and get the lifesteal off. And managed to do it. I think that's good recognition from Jaros to know that was the only out in that situation, even on 2v1. Oh, Hearing Wolf takes so much damage from the boundary of the Ganesha ult.
Oh my god!
Sick positioning.
The sheer skill of that Cupid heart bomb, which did the stun onto the Ganesha ult.
Yeah, understanding the passive
was just
at that point.
That skill, which is
That was super nice to see. Oh my gosh, huge damage from Jaros, an unexpected gank there. This might help them in their favour, but I don't actually think they're... Somehow they're winning this 2v3. Probably the health bar is helping them. But that was fantastic from Jaros and Cookie Tanuki to come in at the situation where their team needed. chase off 3
Yeah,
players.
absolutely.
Still going for it. They may get the kill.
To manage to punish them at this stage of the game.
Bluestone ticking away. Not quite enough.
It's
Jarrell's
just not enough,
tanking the
is
tower.
it? Jarrell's taking the tower damage.
Oh, gets the kill!
He manages to do that, but he's being chased away by
Oh
the
my
Cupid,
gosh.
and there's the tear coming in. It's over with a heart bomb.
Oh my gosh, because
Look at his
that's so
health, look
low.
at Cupid's health.
I can't
Cupid's
follow
health.
this.
He's got 2 health. This is too much. Oh my god.
Oh boy. Yeah, Stanks, you're level 18, you're fed, but I don't know if you're going to be able to take on 3 players. Oh, that's a huge heal. Oh my goodness, this is insane. I can't catch my breath to think about what just happened in the fight. It's just another one going on here. And a great fearless from Stanks to get away, but it's just too low health bar. He's not going to survive this, I don't think.
No, I don't think that
But
Mia's going to survive
Turkey Crab
either. And yeah, it's just... Oh, Cookie Tanuki manages to shut down Big Daddy Stank. That is the chat daddy coming back into the game. Come on, GrogChamp. Going up against the Big Daddy Revolution. Shut down. That must be such a relief for GrogChamp after the last game and the hard start for this game as well, to shut down that tier that has been so effective and therefore annoying for GrogChamp, to shut him down in the solo lane after those 2 kills straight away. That must feel so satisfactory. You know, massive shout out to Cookie Tanuki for being able to do that. Guys, it's not arena, okay? War. We're playing Conquest for a reason. We can't keep up with all the kills.
Yeah,
it's just getting into a bloodbath.
This is insane. Like I've only just really had a little bit of time to have a look at the builds that people have gone with, and we only seen.
I've had to leave the Twitch chat. I can't do Twitch chat and this.
I know,
have
right.
just shut the Twitch chat down. I'm just looking at this. I haven't looked at the builds. I haven't looked at the wards. I haven't looked at the gold. I haven't looked at the experiences. I can just see that it's 617, and that, look, you can see that there's a slope is coming back.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
Going up. They've had the vaccine. They're coming back.
Flatten the curve, save lives.
It's not over. You know.
Yeah, that's quality.
Okay, I like the Chak build. Warrior Tabo, Glad Shield, Stone of Gaia for those knockups, and Cad Shield. I think that is a really good build from Chak. Bringing in that. Let's have a look at the tier build. Bluestone, Warrior Tabo, Shifter Shield into Breastplate of Valor, Genji's Guard, and then Pestilence, obviously, to go against the Anubis. Quite a lot of magical protection for a solo, and not a lot of physical protection. What do you think about that tier build? I think he's 8 and 2 and can do whatever he wants. But what do you think, Joel?
It's pretty good. I think I don't normally go Breastplate of Valor on tier. I love Shifters on tier though. I think that's really solid. And it's also like quite a decent amount of cooldown, which is nice. Obviously with tier, like you're gonna need it being such an ability-based god. But I don't know. I don't think it's that questionable. It looks like they're maybe probably going into Pestilence in the last item, which makes a hell of a lot of sense against an Anubis.
However, they've got Contagion, and Pestilence does not stack with Contagion, but I guess it does make sense if one of the tanks do die to have the other one online.
I think they probably expect that tier is going to be going into their backline a hell of a lot more, trying to go in for an Anubis, and then Ganesh is normally obviously will be frontlining as well, but then the main role will be to try and peel from the backline.
His cooldown ability, to be able to spam his abilities, you know, because the passive of Genji's is obviously whenever you take magical damage, your cooldowns are reduced. So I think that that's a really good idea, but it's just not going to be good for the Anubis as he's trying to get the speed buff. And Athena, I would say there's suddenly 3 of them, and he's jumping to get away, and the kill is secured. 1 second out of position, and it's just they're all there. They're all. That's the power of the Athena jungle, and the tier can just shove you into a corner, and you can just get ulted by Hades. You can just dash under walls.
I think
it's a nasty competition.
What I've learned from this. Oh, what an initiation for Big Daddy Stanks! That was insane.
Ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. Was that a blink?
No, it was an ult over the top of the wall, but following it up with the Ganesha ult as well.
Go on, Chak. You can stay alive.
Oh man, you cannot feel bad. You cannot feel bad if you're GrogChamp in that, because that was such sick team fighting. I just pressed another button to make myself go into a weird angle, as like last time.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Scardy! You can make it, Scardy! You've got to defend the Titan. Oh, he gave us some hearts in the tower.
Boy. What I've learned from watching this is that I'm pretty sure that Charlie is not hungover this time round. Because the reaction time from Big Dirty Stunk in this game to Athena ult at the absolute perfect time, like instantly once there's an initiation available, is just insane. It's like gotten so many kills for them so quickly, and GrogChamp can't react to that. It's not really much you can do.
Yeah, I'm struggling for a ray of hope for GrogChamp. The thing is, you have to realise that, you know, Team GrogChamp. Okay, it's fair to say annihilated Baruni's Merchies, another team. They wiped the floor with them. They just did so well against them. However, then Baruni's Merchies had a really, really close match with Charlie's Angels. And now Charlie's Angels are winning against Team GrogChamp. And I think that goes to show that it's not just about your skill level, it's not just about your experience, it's about your god picks, and it is good games and bad games, and that happens to all of us. And the beauty of Conquest is that even though, you know, the goal difference, the XP difference, the kill count, not the tower count, but everything else is in their favour, they haven't won the game yet, and they might not win, and that's what can happen in Conquest. It's about objectives, it's about looking for those opportunities, you know, and it's about just, it's not over yet, guys. You know, everyone's saying it's over, you know, some people might be like F6, you know, but honestly don't. I've lost games that I should have won, and I've won games that I should have lost according to these stats, according to the gold, according to the XP, according to the towers. It takes one team fight. And I'm definitely interested on the Big Dirty Revolution merchandise, 100%. So drop the link in the chat. But there are so many ultimates popping off there, but I think that they're going to lose their tank. Unfortunately, Big Dirty Stunk manages to get Emir out of the picture, so Chuck is the only tank they have left in this team fight. I think that they might want to push.
This is the blink.
One of the things at this point, that's the Cupid ult just before I managed to breathe, the health just because what they're doing is they're picking a god, they're going, I'm looking at this god, I'm looking at this god, focusing them, and then there's nothing you can do. They just focus you, they freeze you, or they stun you, or they taunt you, or they heart bomb you, or they Hades ult you. There is so much CCR, crowd control.
Yeah, CCR is crowd control reduction. To be fair, we're calling them tanks, but looking at the builds, it's actually not as tanky as normal. I think, like, for Ymir in particular, cooldown boots, not going for tank boots. I mean, you know, we've had the discussion before, but Polynomicon as well. I mean, it's pretty cool for going for those Ymir combos. But
that's 100 power and like 200 mana, isn't it?
I'm not sure exactly. I know the passive is that you get a big benefit to your next basic attack after using an ability every 3 seconds. So it's like it's an auto cancel synergy item, usually built on jungles.
It's 95 magical power, 300 mana, 12% magical lifesteal. Using an ability gives your next basic attack within the next 8 seconds, plus 75% of your magical power as additional magical damage. Only applies once every 3 seconds. So yeah, that's
what I was trying to say.
Quite a power pick.
Yeah, it's a damage item and synergizes with your magical power count, which is not something you're really going for normally on a support. But I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with aggressive supports in the right situation, and the Athena ult I literally just not spotted where they've gone, but that might be it. Yeah, it was the overlay not showing me where that was happening, but oh man, another kill.
It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Honestly, this is not. I mean, at the moment, this. I can't tell if GrogChamp want to go in here because they had the number advantage and the health bars were like still in their favour, but I mean they had basically a time limit because now Big Dirty Stunk and Big Dirty Stanks are in for the gank, and I probably knew that was coming. Oh, and a double two-man Fearless. Jarox is, yeah, that's the Hades versus Anubis lifesteal battle, going to go in Hades' favour. This is going to be a team wipe. This is so unfortunate. Purple Crab literally cannot do anything to survive in that situation. Everything good, Izzy, on your end?
Yeah, in the Twitch chat, making sure that everyone knows that they're free to have banter. Of course, we're absolutely fine with banter, but you know, there's some things that just not wholesome to say. You don't need to say it, really. You know, I understand it's intense and it's really, really hard to you know, not trash talk people. You can obviously chant for your team, but you know, saying things like, why bother playing? It's like, because we're playing for fun, you know, man. This is a wholesome community. It's not like there's a massive cash Ferrari or whatever, you know, like just chill, enjoy it. It's a fun set of games for everybody to play. It's wholesome, it's a safe space. So thank you so much for watching. And if you want to continue to be in the Twitch chat, man, it's all good.
No, no way! Don't do this. Are you serious?
I don't know if they're going to manage to finish off the Titan at this stage. I thought that was game over, but it's not.
Yeah.
Can they just one shot? So is Tier. They didn't end the game. They didn't end the game.
I'm sorry. Why bother playing? That's why. Oh my god, that was insane.
Why bother playing? The game's over. No, it's not. Look what just happened. They might
And Stunk's gonna fall probably.
Oh god! And it was you can punish it for overextending. You can do it. You can do it. Go on, son.
Come on, Cameron.
No,
I want to hear you and Meth's mic saying he's one shot.
Oh,
Oh, the blink's available as well.
Wait, read what out? Big dirty revolution for your blood. It's Bumbleclap.
Literally one shot, yeah. Man, okay. They got a tier 2 tower for that. What else are they going to get? They're going to get the Phoenix, probably? They're all backing here.
You're not in the chat saying, oh, you know, why bother blue? It's over, This is why it's not like
oh, they can't quite get the tier 2.
It's a game of opportunity, although I might eat those words in a second because Tier's coming back. It's going to punish them for overextending.
But they now got 4 men here in this fight. They might be able to outnumber them with just 2 pushing forward. Oh, the Kiwi Bunny falls. That's such a shame.
That's the Anubis doing some serious damage on the jungler. He's going to have to reset, and I don't think Athena has ult, so she's not going to meet them at the Titan. They're going to have to chase them back, and I think... Oh no, the Titan's going to minions! The Titan's going to minions! The minions are going to get the Titan!
Yeah, Big Dirty Tank's going to wipe them out, so... Oh, Tanuki did back!
Look at the minions! No, it's not going to be enough! Poor Jack hasn't been any better. Look at the Titan!
Yeah, and look at Team Charlie's Angels running in.
They're just literally gonna ult the Titan!
Yeah.
Oh, Daddy Chuck! Oh, I'm so sorry you couldn't defend against that, but that was me at the Titan. So sorry for showing
that's so funny.
Like, just intense AF, but like that is why we don't say like, oh, you know, like it's over, you know, game over, because it's never over. Look at the second win that GrogChamp had at the end. Honestly, they could have won at that moment if they just had a little bit more time, or if something else been a little bit different. They could have won at that time, and that's why we don't, you know, say, oh, why bother playing, like, oh, game over, or whatever, blah 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 blah, because it doesn't make people feel good. It's not wholesome. We're a wholesome space, you know. Feel free to host your own Smite tournament if you want to like trash talk people, but we're not into that here. We're into wholesome, supporting everybody, bigging up people, making all these players feel really really special, and have a, you know, just like feel good and feel heard and feel seen and do a bit of a show off. So thank you so much for joining, and thanks for understanding that we are a wholesome space, and I'm sorry for screaming at everybody down the mic. I got so excited at the end. I was like, I can't believe the Titan didn't die. Joel, what do you think?
That was I really want someone to go back and clip that, because that was so funny. Like the fact that you were basically wrapping up saying thanks for joining, guys. It was almost like a this is the end of the stream kind of talk, and then all of a sudden, bam! Ymir comes in, like halves their health totals, and all of a sudden they're back in the game a little bit. I mean, I
genuinely blinked and missed it. Like I didn't see what happened. I blinked and missed it.
Yeah.
So.
That's great. I love that. Like that's why I love watching this this tournament, because even when I mean, like if we're being honest, like even after that that win, that little team fight win at the Titan, like they didn't get all the kills, and they couldn't really get enough result afterwards. Like they almost got the Phoenix down, but after, if they can't do that, then, and also not die for it, it's not really going to do very much. They're still so far behind, and then obviously, you know, everything snowballed after that, and But it was such a sick moment. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I thought it was a really cool dynamic to see how it could literally change in the blink of an eye. So it was really, really awesome to see, and it was definitely a really fun time for us to try and spectate when the kills were just happening like digga 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 like that. So it was I have nothing to say apart from that was a ridiculous set of games. Like there was a lot of damage done, and there was a lot of crowd control. They just were like, you can't get away because we're going to taunt you or we're going to stun you. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So but well done, Joel, for dealing with my screaming and for managing to commentate on a good portion of that, because I couldn't see what was going on. I couldn't realise what was going on. I was in the Twitch chat, and then when it came off, like 4 people had died, and I was like, where's everyone? A tower had gone.
I have the benefit of being the one actually spectating this game and seeing everything in high detail, but not with the best of eyes anyway. Like, that was so hard to follow what was going on and kind of like recap every situation, because whenever something happens, like a few minutes later, less than, another fight would happen. We're like, oh my god, okay, we've got to talk about this now. We can't like even think about what just happened. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show, like, and got something from watching it without us like breaking it down. I'm sure most of you probably understand what's going on better than us anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And thank you guys for joining us again. We hope to see you guys next week. We've got 2 matches happening next week, and after that, I think there's only do you know what? I actually need to go back to the league table and have a look and see. And we should actually get like the KDA differences in the league table and update everybody on that as well.
Be better prepared next time. But like, I'm having fun, man. This is great. I just like I don't really mind if we use like a complete, almost blank Excel spreadsheet to show what's going on. At least from my point of view, because getting to watch the Smite is the main thing that's seems to be the most enjoyable thing from all of this. Like, the games are cracking. I love it.
I know I sound like a broken record. I know I sound so annoying. I get so excited about this stuff. I'm always like, oh, it's interesting this. I'm excited this. But all of the games could genuinely go either way at any moment. And that's why I absolutely love this. And that's why I wanted to set up this tournament, is because that genuinely, you saw that it could have gone. They could have gone at that same moment. They could have won the game, even though they were behind in stats, you know. And people were saying, "Oh, the game could be over." But actually, genuinely, that's why I freaking love Conquest, because actually, sometimes you can come back from that, and that's what I absolutely love. It's not like football where, you know, if you're 5-0 down, like, you're like never going to come back from that, like, because it's not about kills, it's not about gold, it's not about XP, it's about getting the Titan. And you don't need to get all of the objectives and all of the farm and the Fire Giant and the Gold Fury. You can just do one lane and kill everybody and then get the Titan. So I think it's a really interesting dynamic, and that's why I really like to see different styles of teams playing. So we'll just see what happens next time in the Wholesome Smite tournament next weekend. Thank you, Joel. Thank you so
very
much.
And let me do the promised thing and show you guys basically a summary of that last game.
I can't see it, so thanks instead of stomp.
Thanks for joining, everyone. See you guys next week.
See you guys soon. See you later. Bye.